It's August 5th, 1962, and Nelson Mandela is driving from KwaZulu-Natal to Gauteng with fellow activist Cecil Williams. Mandela had recently returned from traveling in Africa and London, where he drummed up support for the ANC. In his autobiography Long Walk to Freedom, Mandela describes the events of that fateful day when apartheid police closed in.
Cecil and I were engrossed in discussions of sabotage plans as we passed through Howick, 20 miles northwest of Pietermaritzburg. At Zidara, a small town just past Howick, I noticed a Ford V8 filled with white men shoot past us through on the right. I instinctively turned around to look behind, and I saw two more cars filled with white men. Suddenly, in front of us, the Ford was signaling us to stop. I knew in that instant that my life on the run was over. My 17 months of freedom were about to end.
The place where Mandela's freedom abruptly ended is now known as the Nelson Mandela capture site.
The Nelson Mandela capture site marks the spot where Nelson Mandela was being captured by the apartheid security police in the year 1962, August the 5th. As he was heading to Johannesburg, disguising himself as a chauffeur on the R103, he was captured, and that's where his last freedom was for so many years to come.
To honor the struggle icon, artist Marco Shinfanelli built a large steel sculpture. However, it can only be fully appreciated from inside the Mandela Capture Site Museum.
It's a very unique sculpture, I must say. We have a path which we call it the Long Walk to Freedom. As you're walking down the path, you'll see when you're getting closer, the sculpture starting to make the shape of Nelson Mandela. When you get down by the last benches, there's a marked spot where you stand and we can have a nice proper view of the sculpture. The sculpture commemorates a 50 years anniversary of his capture. He was captured in 1962, 2012. It was a 50 years anniversary of his capture. Then an artist by the name Marco Cianfanelli, a local artist, decided to create that sculpture using exactly 50 steel columns that are between 6.5 and 9.5 meters tall. And I must say, it's a 3D image. It's a beautiful sculpture.
The site attracts visitors from all over the world.
People are coming a lot on the site. It shows that people are inspired by Nelson Mandela a lot. So we have a lot of visitors from foreign visitors, local visitors, church groups and school groups coming through to visit this site.
While tourists are delighted to finally see the Mandela sculpture, others feel the museum is not publicized enough.
It's very well done. The only comment I've got is it's not very well advertised. Although I was very impressed with the amount of people that are here. So I don't think it's as well advertised as it should be in the country.
I think it's really beautiful here. Nelson Mandela was someone who was a strong leader for our country, and he fought for what was right. So I don't know what you think. This is my second time here, and it's just as beautiful as it was the first time.
In the year 1900, ANC founder John Dube established the Ohlange Institute in the township of Inanda. This would also become the place where Mandela cast his first democratic vote in April 1994. Tourist officer Mandla Nxumalo still beams with joy when he shares his first encounter with Mandela.
As I was part of that history, because in 1994, 27 April, I was working under IEC in 1994, which is Independent Electoral Commission, and also I was also likely to be assigned to work in this hall where history was marked, where our international beloved icon, Nelson Mandela, decided to come and cast his first democratic vote. And also the reason why Nelson Mandela, he decided to come and cast his first democratic vote here in KwaZulu-Natal at Durban and Ohlange Institute, because he wanted to honor the life and time of one of the co-founders of ANC and the first president of ANC, Reverend John Dube, of which for me it was an honor and privilege.
Nxumalo says he remembers the day like it was yesterday.
The day of 1994, 27 April, Nelson Mandela, we were told a day before, the big day, that our international beloved icon Nelson Mandela was coming to cast his first democratic vote, and of which it was very, very difficult, yes, especially for me, because I was also given a special task to welcome Nelson Mandela to the ballot box. Didn't sleep well, I was freezing and I was shaking, yes, and also on the day, Nelson Mandela, he was also accompanied by dignitaries of the world, ANC top officials, IEC top officials, the former president of the country, honorable ex-president of the country, Jacob Gedlehle, IEC top officials, the international paparazzi, the media representatives, they were 108 of which they were stationed right at the front of this hall. Yes, the Dube family members. And you know what, Nelson Mandela, he managed to cool me off because he greeted me with a broad smile as he was always with, as I was paying attention and I was also holding my breath, And Nelson Mandela entered this hall and he cast his first democratic vote in this hall in 1994. And after he finished his vote, Nelson Mandela, he acknowledged the significance of John Dube's monument and he visited in front of dignitaries of the world. And at John Dube's monument, Nelson Mandela, he lay a replica of a flower at the grave of John Dube, of which it was a symbol of respect. And after he finishes laying at the grave of John Dube, Nelson Mandela, he stood right at the middle of John Dube's grave. And he observed a moment of silence before Nelson Mandela declared his statement in front of dignitaries of the world. And he said, Mr. President, I've come to report to you that today South Africa is now free. May your soul rest in peace now. Of which it was very emotional to hear our international beloved icon Nelson Mandela, to hear him pronouncing those words. We end up all crying, but it was a tears of joy.
In December 1996, Nelson Mandela was awarded the Freedom of Howick. Now, with museums like this preserving his memory, Mandela's journey is sure to be remembered for generations to come. A red bulletproof Mercedes-Benz transporting Nelson Mandela made its way to Ohlange Institute, where the struggle icon made his historic vote on the 27th of April in 1994. He chose the school because of its rich history. It was founded by one of the ANC's president, John Langalibalele Dube, and one of the places he visited before he was captured by the apartheid police in Howick in 1962. For Afro World View, I'm Patti Samfuyo, Enanda.